Hello everyone and welcome back to yet another reading vlog, the first reading vlog of 2019. It's Friday afternoon. I just got off from work, which was the first day of work after the Christmas break, and even though it was pretty slow going, I am exhausted. However, I am also currently reading a book which is pretty huge, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to finish it just because it's an okay book, but it's not worth the size of it, the time I have to invest in it. It's not that good of a story. Anyway, I'm talking about this book which I bought from my father. He really liked it. It's by Ildefonso Falcones, and I don't think it's been translated into English yet, but here we have it in Danish, and it's a 1,000-page historical novel set in Barcelona in the 1300s, and it's good enough. It's a 3-star read. As you can see, I'm halfway through it, and the thing is that I'm not invested enough in the story to actually finish it. I think I've been very unsure about it, so I still haven't made up my mind, and I'm not sure if 2019 is going to be the year in which I'm very critical about my reading and I'm not finishing any books I'm not very much invested in. So instead of making that huge life decision right now, I'm going to place you up here and open some mail package, some mail books, something. I'm tired. I think I'm going to say that if one of these books I'm going to open is actually a book I really want to read now, then I'm going to put down the other one and do just that. Ooh, the 6th book in the Tana French series. I'm definitely not going to read that today because I'm only at book 4. And we have a bookmark right here. Plot Plash. I quite like it. Ooh, I might have to start this one tonight, because I really want to read Becoming by Michelle Obama, the most popular book at this time, I think. I think this is my reading plans for this weekend. Ooh, and this is a new bookmark with a coffee mark and the word novelicious. Great. It is it is the day after, and I've gotta say I'm really loving this biography. I'm 100 pages into it now, and the thing that made me want to read this book is because who wouldn't want to read about a former First Lady of the United States? That's a pretty rare thing to be able to write about. But also I feel like Michelle seems to be a very intelligent, outspoken woman, and even though I haven't followed her through the years religiously, I have noticed her, and so this book was a great way to really get to know her. And what I love about it is that she writes in an incredible voice. She states the facts about her childhood so far, but she does it in a very reflective and poetic way, which I really like. She knows her craft. She knows how to write a book, and basically so far I'm just very much impressed and very eager to continue on. I'm happy I decided to pick up this book this weekend. I've now finished Michelle Obama's Becoming, and it was definitely a 5-star read. Another book I started reading, I also DNF'd, and that is After You by Jojo Moyes. This is the second book, the book that comes after Me Before You, which I quite enjoyed, and the movie as well, so I was intrigued to continue reading. But this just wasn't a book for me. And to begin with, I was going to continue reading just because I also own the 3rd book in the series, Still Me, and this book is actually nominated the best fiction book on Goodreads of 2018. So that got me going with the other one a little bit, and I read about half of it. But in the end, I just knew I wasn't going to push myself and continue reading, because if I didn't like the 2nd book, I most likely wouldn't like the 3rd book as well. So I DNF'd it. It's okay. I'm not going to devote my time to books I'm not liking. Instead, I'm going to give those 2 books to my mother, whom I think is going to actually like these books. Yesterday, I went to see my parents, who had found my old Harry Potter book in the attic. So I brought them home with me because I kind of want to have them on my shelves. The original books that I read the story from, and they are in Danish, and they just have a special place in my heart. So Let me just show you the books and what the covers look like. First of all, we have Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, which looks like this. And as you can see, the font is pretty, I don't know how to explain it. It's pretty unique, and I remember really liking this font when I read it back in the day. So I kind of want to reread the books now, but I'm not going to do that. Then we have also out of order, we have Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, which looks like this. And Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. This was my least favorite cover, I remember, as a child. I'm not that fond of orange. Then we have the 7th book, which is the only one I had in English. I believe that at that point in time, I was able to read in English, and my mother started buying me books in English in order to be able to practice my language. So here we have Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows in the original adult cover, I think this is. We also have my favorite, Harry Potter and the... why can't I remember the title? Harry Potter and... I have completely forgotten the title. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, of course. They're a little bit dusty. I have dust all over my face now. The 5th book, Harry Potter and the Phoenix Order, or the Order of Phoenix, which looks like this. And then the 6th book, which they weren't able to find. I'm pretty sure I do own that book as well in Danish, but they promised me that if they find it, they will of course hand it to me so that my collection is complete. And here are all books besides from the 6th one. They look pretty nice, I think. Which cover is your favorite? Let me know in the comments. It's early in the morning. I'm standing here making my porridge. So last night I spent most of the night reading and finishing this fiction book, which I loved. A Letter to the Sky by John Boyne. I had to warm up to it to begin with. It was a pretty good story, but I had no idea where it was going, and I kind of needed more tense moments in order to be very intrigued. Those tense moments did come, and as the book progressed, I, in my mind, changed my rating from a 3-star read to a 4-star, and then in the end a 5-star read. It's about this author who wants to become famous and recognized internationally, and he uses people to do that. And that's all I'm going to say, besides from the fact that in the book we get closer and closer to him. The first part is written in a 3rd-person narrator, the second part in the 2nd person, and then the last and final part is written in a 1st-person narrator, told from his perspective, of course. And it gets pretty disturbing, so I love this book. I think John Boyne might be one of my favorite authors now, or becoming one of them. So that is great. 5 stars it is. I definitely recommend this book. I don't think I emphasized enough how much of a coward the main character in this book is, and I feel like I need to rectify that, because this protagonist is one of the most incredible main characters I've ever read about. Once you start thinking that things can't get worse and he can't do these things even worse, he does, and it's, as I said, incredible. But he's also this kind of character who you can't help but be fascinated with. You feel drawn to know his story and know what is going on, and so you keep on reading. So yeah, I just thought I wanted to throw that in as well. I finished this book some hours ago now, which is I Am by Maggie O'Farrell, a non-fiction account on 17 brushes that this author has had with death. I have been looking forward to this book for many months, and now was the time to pick it up. And the thing is, I finished it some hours ago, and I have a hard time expressing my feelings towards this book. I liked it, I didn't love it, and I really can't seem to put my finger on why that is. I think that this is written beautifully, but I also feel like it's too intense. that I couldn't really connect with all of her accounts on death. They were so intense, so brief, and then you just moved on to the next one. And I think that I was on an emotional roller coaster, so that I wasn't invested enough to do this, and so I just enjoyed it, but I couldn't really 100% love it. So I don't really know how to express it other than this. As I said, I liked it. I don't know if I'm going to rate it, but after all, here you have my feelings on this non-fictional memoir. It's still pretty early. So the next book I decided to pick up is this one, Rules of Civility by Amo Towels. I finished it last night, and it turned out to be quite a letdown because I really liked the first part of the book. Actually, I really liked the majority of the book. Not that it was amazing, but it was a good enough story and clever writing for me to keep on reading and for me to have a smile on my face at some points. But something happens towards the end of the book which reveals where things are going, and I was like, is that it? Is that really what this story is really about? So I was a bit underwhelmed, and in the end I do think that this novel is kind of forgettable. I ended up giving it 3 stars. I definitely do recommend it because the setting of 1930s New York City during the Depression and trying to mingle with new people while being in your 20s, I really like that setting. So yeah, I do recommend it, but it did turn out to be quite a letdown. So what should I read next? I only have about 100 books to choose from.